Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast with Kelly Paxton, pink collar crime expert, Joe Irvin, your person for all things ethics, and Robert Berry, the guy who helps you ask better questions. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com and grab some CPE while you're there.
Ooh, wait a minute now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 97 of the Friday Fraudster. And as you can see, I'm alone right now. Kelly keeps popping back in. Here she is. So you guys, Kelly is traveling. So Kelly is in the San Diego airport and she may not make it the whole show. So what I've asked is there anyone that wants to join today? Bonita said yes, so Bonita might be joining in just a minute. Bonita might be joining us in just a minute. So, like I said, welcome to episode number 97. You know what? As people come in, here's what I want you guys to answer for me. What should we do for episode 100? What should we do for episode 100? I'm trying to decide, am I going to do a best of where I do a compilation of things, or should we just bring on some of our favorite people, like bring on Galena and Thomas and Mark and have them talk fraud with Kelly, Joe, and I for about an hour? So, oh, and Hal's here. So, what do you guys think we should do for episode 100? Bonita, check your LinkedIn email. I just sent you the link if you want to join today. Now, Clarence is saying a recap of all the shows. Now, Clarence, that's a lot of work on me, man. I got to do video editing. No, I'm just kidding. I did throw it out there. But no, I was actually thinking that actually would be pretty good. So I'm glad you said that, Clarence. Bonita says yes to all of it. You mean a best of and have all the past guests on too? That's a thought. We could make it a party. Who's going to bring the candy, though? Who's going to bring the chips, Bonita? Now, you know what? Not everybody's going to get that joke. So Bonita has a book club, and I'm in the book club, primarily because I don't have to read the book. She reads it to us. And we are talking about chip wars, which is probably something that fraud and audit people should be concerned with, because the federal government in the United States is giving a lot of stimulus money to companies for the chip wars. We're talking microchips, computer chips, right? So it's probably something that we should all be concerned about. Ooh, Hal says get one big freaking cake to share. You know what? Maybe you all could buy us cakes. Sona, what is funny about that? Wait, what are you laughing at, though? What Hal said or something I said? Surely not anything that I said, because I rarely say anything that is funny. Okay. So episode 97. All you got is me today. So I apologize, because it's going to be a horrible show. No, I'm just kidding. Let me ask you all a question. Since I can't ask Joe or Kelly a question today, I want to ask you all a question. Does anybody here like art? Art, like my Crayola crayon picture drawings. Anybody like art? And if you do like art, what kind of art do you like? Do you like art? And what kind of art do you like? That's a question I just want to know. Fun fact, I am the best crayon artist you will ever find. I am the best crayon artist you will ever find. So the question is, do you all like art? And what kind of art do you like? Now, Kelly is in the chat and she says that she loves art. Now, Hal is in competition with me. Hal likes color by numbers. I am the best crayon artist. You have to see it, Shri. Okay. I'll make a crayon art just for you, especially for you. I'll even put my autograph on it for you. Now, Bonita is saying she loves museums. And guys, guess what? Not only is Bonita in the chat, but Bonita is here with me. Bonita Lee.
Hello, hello. I'm finally on the Friday Fraudsters after 99 episodes. I finally made it on.
Oh, stop playing, Bonita. I've asked you to be on several things with me, and because you just don't like me, you told me no.
No, no. I think you had mentioned that you wanted to do a live at 6 in the morning for me one time, and I laughed.
I don't know if it was quite 6 in the morning. Now, Hal is asking, do I paint in the lines? Sometimes. So, Bonita, what is your favorite kind of art?
I love visiting at the classics. It doesn't matter what genre. I just love visiting museums and learning about history and art history in particular. So if I wasn't a trade compliance professional, I think I would have been an art history, you know, I would have been in I would have taken that route. I would have taken art history in school if I didn't have to make money.
See, therein lies the problem. You know what? I am so glad you said that because art really doesn't pay now, does it?
Not until you're dead, apparently.
Not until you're dead. Yes, art doesn't pay. And you know what else? Going to school for art is very expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Fun fact: one of the universities that I worked for, they had a glass blowing program. You know where you just you blow glass and you do art on the glass.
Right?
That degree was tens of thousands of dollars to learn how to blow glass.
That's why your company doesn't, give you the reimbursement when you take a glass blowing course.
Right? This was more than a course, though. This was an entire curriculum. Now, Kelly says creative arts, creative accountants. Wait a minute. Who is this saying that they went to school for fine art? Who is this? Let's see. They're showing up as linked. Oh, that was Stephanie. Stephanie went to school for fine art. Oh boy.
Nice.
Ooh. Stephanie, how much did, well, that probably is a little too personal. I was about to ask how much did that degree cost? So yeah, Benita, you're right. Art, it doesn't pay unless you're dead, unless, like Hal just said, if you steal it, it might it might be lucrative. You know what though? Oh, go ahead, Benita. You're about to say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say all of the best films, like Hollywood films about stealing art, are like really good ones, right? Like the Thomas Crown affair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they glamorize art and make you think that you can make money off of it. So it's the system's fault, right?
It's all the system.
Always the system's fault. Just like our subject of today's story. He was a former payroll manager for the Art Institute of Chicago. You like the way I segued into that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he was the former payroll manager for the Art Institute of Chicago. Now, you guys know those art institutes. You see them everywhere in most major cities. The big red sign, the Art Institute. So that's where this guy worked. He worked for the Art Institute. Now, Stephanie didn't have to steal because she says that her education in art was actually free. So I think you should count yourself as lucky, Stephanie. Did you ever work as a payroll manager though at the Art Institute? That's the question. Did you ever? Now this is going to be fun today, you guys, because normally everybody is prepped for the story. Everybody that's on the show, but Nita has no idea what
No
the
prep.
story is. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun. So okay, so this payroll manager, he's been indicted. So that means that he's not been convicted and he's innocent until proven guilty. But if you read the indictment, mm, it is alleged that he embezzled more than $2 million in museum funds over a 12-year period. Now, Benita, how do you think he did it?
Over a 12-year period. I mean, a lot of people don't check their pay stubs.
Ooh, a lot of people don't check their pay stubs.
Yeah, so if there was a tiny bit missing off of every single employee's pay stub for 12 years, it could amount to a lot.
Oh, so you think he did an Office Space, huh?
I didn't even know that about Office Space. That happened in Office Space?
Or Superman 3. It happened in
Oh,
Superman 3.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my only idea.
that's your only idea. All right, so everybody in the audience, how do you think a payroll manager was able to steal $12 million from an art institute? From an art institute. That is quite amazing. You know what else, Benita? Here's what else is interesting. So, even though I have no artistic bones in my body, my father is actually an artist. He's a painter. Check this out. Let me show you something. Bet you didn't know that. Look at this. Isn't this
I
real
see
neat?
a sax.
Yeah, it's a saxophone. He likes
Mhm.
painting instruments and things like that. This one is my favorite one because it has a little bit of purple in it and stuff. But here's one of my other favorite ones that he's done.
Ooh, what's
Oh,
that
wait a
one?
minute. Hold
Oh,
on.
I
Let's
like
see.
that. It looks like a clarinet.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
this one, yeah. This one I think is yeah, it might be a clarinet. It might be a clarinet. And then here's my all-time favorite one right here.
I can't tell what that is.
Oh, it's a lot of abstract art, Benita. You know, it's all subjective, right? Here's another one.
Mhm. I see a guitar.
Yes, a guitar. Yes. All right. So now we've got some good guesses in the audience. Mark said that the art thefts were always fun cases to investigate. Oh, Mark, you've investigated some before, huh?
Oh,
Stephanie says fake students. That's a good guess.
ooh,
That's a good
yeah.
guess. Now, Mark is saying no separation of duties. No separation of duties. Okay. I think I've held everyone in suspense long enough. So there were multiple ways that they're saying that he stole these funds. But one thing that he would do, allegedly at this point, is when employees would leave, you know, when you leave a company, you have unused sick and vacation time, paid time off that can be paid out. So they said that he was stealing some of their PTO time
Oh,
and
wow.
depositing it into his own bank account.
Right, because that sits as a liability until it's paid out.
There you go. There you go. It sits as a liability until it's paid out. Clarence says fake art. He wasn't quite that smart, Clarence. But yeah, so it sits as a liability. But think about this, though. How in the world was he able to do that? It takes a lot of effort and work. Wouldn't you get caught really quickly doing that?
Some payroll savvy. And I guess if you're exiting and you want to argue, you got to call him.
Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. And so he would just say something like, "Oh, it was less than you thought it was," and besides that, how many people actually keep up with their paid time off enough to where they know how much it's going to be?
Right.
Mm. The other thing too is it's taxed at a higher rate. So it's taxed at about a 45 to 50% rate. So it's going to be less than you thought it was going to be in your head anyway. So even if he paid you just a little bit and then took some,
Wow, that's like income tax in Canada.
that's a lot. That's a lot.
It is.
Ooh. Now, Mark says artsy people aren't fancy people. That was funny. That
Good
that
one,
was
Mark.
funny. That was a real good one. Okay. So let's get into exactly how he did it allegedly. So he had access to the payroll system. He also had access to one of the company's bank accounts. So what he was doing was in the payroll system, he could see the employees' bank account numbers and routing numbers. So there were a couple different things that allegedly he was doing. One thing they alleged that he was doing was He was allowing the employees to be paid either through manual check or through wire transfer. And then he was simply duplicating the payment and having it come out again, but going to one of his bank accounts. And then he would falsify the payroll reports to only show the payment coming out once.
Wow. With like what was that called?
Crazy.
Whiteout? Like
Right. I think that's called crazy because at some point a bank reconciliation is going to be off if the payments are coming out multiple times. And
right.
but yeah. So but it was to Clarence's point. If you control the process, it's not that hard. He controlled
Right.
the entire process. So that was a
No
part of the problem.
segregation. Sod. No
Sod.
segregation of duties.
And we're not talking about the stuff you put on your grass either. We're
No.
talking segregation of duties. Yeah. Yeah. So that's crazy, right? Isn't that crazy? Like how? Okay.
Where do you find these things, Rob? I just want to know.
So now Hal is bringing up the point that I was going to go to next before I told you the second way that they are alleging he did it. Hal says he did it for 12 years. Right. Like 12 years.
I bet you that wouldn't surprise Kelly.
It probably wouldn't. You know, the other thing that they were saying, though, is they were saying in one of the articles that I read was that, oh, the amount was not large enough to really catch the company's attention. So I'm thinking, what did I say the amount was? $12 million? How much did I say? Let me go back to my. No, it was $2 million. Sorry. So that was roughly what is that? 20,000 a year? Is my math wrong?
I need a calculator.
I know, right? $2 million over the span of about 10 years would be what, $200,000 a year, right?
Okay. I'm going to trust you on that.
So $200,000 a year is not enough to get your attention? Shh, look, I need somebody to give me a minuscule amount of money every year then. How about that?
Yeah, I just need a few bucks.
Yeah, that's it. Just a few. You know how? I'm wondering how many times did he go to Disney in 12 years?
And
So
would he
now,
have gone to Orlando or California?
oh, well, that depends. Did he
Or
want to go to
yeah,
Disney World or Disneyland?
right.
Which one is best, Disney World or Disneyland?
I've never been to World.
Ah, ah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hal, which one is best, Disney World or Disneyland? I know which one I like best, and I can tell you why I like the one that I like best.
Do tell.
So, I'm a little partial to Disney World,
Okay.
but one of the reasons I'm partial to Disney World is because of all the other things surrounding it too. Because you can go to Epcot, and Epcot has like a world of beer. So you can, sample beer from the different places. But it also has SeaWorld is nearby, which I know is not a Disney property, but still.
Right.
And then Animal Kingdom is there too.
Right.
So I like
Right.
that.
You'd have to go down to San Diego if you wanted that, if you were at Disneyland.
Exactly. So the edge goes to Disney World. Okay, so here's the other thing that they're saying that he was doing. Similar to the first scheme, except for he wasn't paying out the amounts due to employees at all. So with that, I'm thinking for 12 years, that many employees were stiffed out of PTO time and nobody said a word? Like how does that work?
Yeah. So were they real employees?
Hmm.
Because
That's a
I
good
can't
question.
imagine anyone not noticing in 12 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying myself too. Now, Hal says Hal says it's a small world. It doesn't matter. Talking about the difference between the parks.
The
And then
song
he
is
said,
gonna
"I
go
just."
through my mind now.
Hal said, "I just dissed Universal." You know what? That's another reason I actually like Orlando too, is because Universal Studios is there as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to diss Universal.
Isn't no, I think Universal is at both, isn't it? It's just that we didn't mention it.
Oh, you might be right. It might be at both.
Yeah,
I've never been to the one in California. If it is, hmm.
right.
So there's another thing that he did in order to take the money. See, it was, you know what? He had a multi-layered approach to his fraud, which if you want to have a process set up, you got to have multiple levels to your process just in case one process breaks, right? So this was a pretty smart criminal. He was like Michael Jackson, a smooth criminal. So the other thing that they're saying that he did was he falsified records in the payroll system and then in the bank statements, and he paid out amounts that weren't due to anyone to his personal bank account, and he put in the system valid, quote unquote, valid reasons that included accrued PTO and things like that. So whoever was reconciling these accounts had one heck of a time, because they would see line items that said accrued PTO for certain
Well,
employees.
he was probably reconciling.
There you go. That's where I was going with it. Yeah. Yeah. So now Hal is asking, did he take PTO from fictitious employees? Hal, they're saying just the opposite. They're saying that they were legitimate employees, but he would fake the PTO. He would say that PTO was due, and that's why he made certain distributions, even though PTO wasn't due.
Why do you suppose this LinkedIn user is saying, I bet he never actually took a vacation himself?
That's Stephanie. That's kind of funny. You're probably right. I bet he didn't. And now Mark actually makes a legit. Well, Stephanie wasn't joking either with it, but Mark
Right,
makes
because
another
if he
point. They
took a
never can.
vacation, somebody else would be doing his work.
There you go.
No
Yeah,
can do.
yeah. You cannot take vacation time, because if you do, then the fraud is discovered.
Right.
That's kind of crazy, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like to get away with it for 12 years too.
So another reason he gave when it was false payouts, he said that it was a negative tax withholding, meaning something they screwed up the taxes and need to reimburse for the taxes. And then a final reason that he gave was he said that some of it was a deduction for tuition remission. And I'm guessing that's something like tuition reimbursement or something like that. Um, wow.
Wow.
But here's the other thing that's got me real curious, though. When it was a tax item or tuition reimbursement item, who was reconciling those accounts? Because it's usually not well, okay. It's usually not necessarily the payroll department. It's usually payroll in conjunction with human resources. Because you got
Right. So maybe
who?
he was the HR and the payroll.
Ooh, that would be interesting. I didn't see that, but that would be an interesting. Because in my head, I couldn't wrap my brain around that one, right? Like, have you ever worked anywhere where you got tuition reimbursement?
Yes.
Right. And so you had to provide HR with a copy of,
Right.
the
Different
receipt or
hands.
yeah. Yeah. Hmm. So I wonder how he got away with that. Hal says, "Can I have his unused PTO?" You know what? That's a good question. How much PTO does he have now since he's been indicted and maybe arrested? I know he's been indicted so far. And he's left the company, and he probably never took vacation because he was committing fraud. So how much unused PTO does he have? And maybe
Well,
he can use that to pay his bond, his bail.
ooh.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, depends how long he can carry it over for, I guess, the amount.
That's true. That's true. Mark, I know it was a bad assumption. That was a very bad assumption on my part. Yeah, yeah, very
Which
bad
one is he
assumption.
talking about?
All of the assumptions that I made were, were bad. Pick one. The fact that I assumed that he wasn't doing the reconciliation and somebody from HR was, no, they couldn't have been in order for this to go on for 12 years. Now, Hal says it's an art institute. He probably was the whole accounting department and the payroll department. Yeah, probably so.
Right.
Here's what's funny, though. Those art institutes, they're everywhere, though. Like, literally, they are everywhere, which leads you to believe that they must be making some kind of money. I mean, they're probably like what the University of Phoenix was back in the day, where they had campuses everywhere.
Okay.
So, I, I don't know. That's weird. Isn't that
What
weird?
state was this in? Did you say?
Oh yeah, this one was where was this one? Chicago, Illinois. But the Art Institute is everywhere. Have you ever seen? Well, let me see. Let me pull up a
Oh, I
picture.
see. Yes, I have seen them. I
Yeah,
thought we were just talking art institutes in general, but it's the Art Institute.
the Art Institute. Yeah, the big one with the logo that's red. Let's see. I'll pull it up in just a second.
I guess there was like
This guy.
virtual. Oh,
Look
that's
at
the
that.
guy, the criminal.
Oh no. This is the Art Institute right here.
Oh,
That
and
guy
he
is
named
actually a famous
three.
rapper out of Atlanta.
Oh, right.
So I, you know, Kelly actually found our guy on Facebook. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's not often we get to take a look at the criminal. I mean, they always look like normal guys or normal gals.
Ooh, Hal says the Art Institute or Trump University or any other once reputable institute. Oh, you mean, Mark, you mean the different ones in the different cities? I think they're all under the umbrella of the Art Institute, and then, you know, they just have their different locations in different cities. But yeah,
Right. And I guess if payroll is in every city and virtual and in person, remote workers and in person workers, it's hard to keep track of for someone else. Nobody else can say if that was a weird payment. But I mean, if he was in the accounting department, I guess, yeah,
now
there
this
was.
is interesting though. Maybe I have the wrong place because I don't see Illinois up here.
Huh.
Hmm. This is very interesting. Let me go back and check the story here.
Or ITI Institute Trump.
Oh, you know what? This was just the Art Institute of Chicago. This wasn't
Okay.
okay, gotcha. So this was this place. Hold on one second, you guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we better take back what we were saying, Robert. We might
I
get
better
canceled.
take it all back. This was just the Art Institute of Chicago. So Art Institute is what? Wait, no, heck, this might not be it either. Wait a minute.
Oh man, I want to go to that one. Just saw
You,
Salvador Dali.
you saw some art you liked, huh?
Yeah, the classics.
So yeah, that was it. It was the Art Institute of Chicago. It wasn't the famous big Art Institute. It was the one that Bonita likes right here.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Well, you can buy tickets. Let's see. How much are the tickets, Bonita? When would you like to go?
I don't know, maybe in the summer.
Summertime. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, on
Summertime.
my way back from the fraud retreat.
Oh, so that would be in August. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see. You could go on August the 5th. That's Saturday. You could leave the fraud retreat. And let's see. Which tickets do you want, Bonita? Do you want general admission are not available yet for this date? Okay. Okay.
Mm.
They may be doing some revamping of their payment processes after this.
Maybe he did IT as well. Maybe he did IT, graphic design, and he accepted payments as well.
Oh wow! So now our lovely people in the audience are dropping in links to a bunch of stories. So Amy dropped in a link to the actual story, but Hal found another one that's quite interesting. Let's see if I can pull it up. The Art Institute of California closes, stranding students and disappointing alumni, and that is the actual red Art Institute that I was showing earlier. So apparently, the one in California closed. Thank you, Hal. And they also said, what is Hal saying here? Um, let's see. Oh, wow. The closures come as the parent company, Dream Center Education Holdings, is accused of Department of Education mishandling of about $13 million in federal financial aid money. Now, look, we know that this
Wow.
happens a lot, right? Um, there was even controversy at one point in time with the University of Phoenix and federal financial aid money. So, yeah, yeah. And Mark is right. How that is a bigger story than the $1 million. Yeah, we should do that one next. We really should. That's a lot bigger story. Um,
By a
pretty
million.
pretty doggone interesting. It gets interesting when the Department of Education is telling you you're spending your money wrong, but wow, that is insane. All right, all right, all right, all right. So everybody, thank you for joining us on episode number 97. So it looks like what you guys want for episode 100 is a recap episode along with everybody. So that begs the question though, Mark, are you free for episode 100? Because that'll be in what, 3 weeks, if my math is right.
Oh, wow.
So we get me, Joe, Kelly, Mark, Thomas, Galena, and I guess
Galena.
you now, Bonita. Now,
Ooh.
here's what I'm wondering. Do we get a special guest appearance from Mr. Hal Garin? That is what I am wondering.
Yes.
Hmm. That's
Hal,
what
you
I'm
got
wondering.
3 weeks notice.
3 weeks notice. Now, Shree is saying that we should do Alex Murdaugh. Um, I saw that Shree sent me the story the other day. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it because that's a tangled web. That's an
From murder to
extremely
stealing.
tangled
It sounds
web.
intriguing, Shri.
Yeah, yeah. But again, that begs the question, Mark, are you available? Mark says like the 23rd of March. I think so. I think it is because I actually have all the shows planned out up until that day. I left that one blank because I was going to ask everyone what do they want to see. Because you remember the first episode? You guys remember the first episode that we ever did? You remember it? It was called The Crappy Company, and it was the poop company that it was, it was the poop company. I still think that's my favorite one. Ooh, Mark said he's available that week. So now here's the other question though. Do we want to bring on people who have never ever been guest hosts, but people who have been avid listeners? You know, like Amy and Stephanie, and do we want to just make it a party?
Ooh, an auditor party. 24th. It's the 24th on a Friday.
24th? Okay.
Yeah.
Look, Hal is doing the math for us because accountants can't add. Three, 3 plus 21 is 24. But you know, now that I'm thinking though, this is a good idea. We can bring on Clarence, good old Clarence. Clarence, you still listening? We could possibly get Alaba from Alaba's in Nigeria, I believe.
Quite the
Uh
time difference.
yeah, there is a time difference. But we could bring on a bunch of people who are just listeners and have one big party. That
I'm
would be easy on
Googling what
me.
time in Nigeria now.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
9:36 in Nigeria right now, PM.
Ooh, Clarence says he's here. So Clarence, on the 24th, what do you say? Stephanie, you still here? Amy, you still here? Amy's a little shy. I don't think Amy's gonna come on.
That'd be a fun 100th episode party. I like it.
Now that's Stephanie. Stephanie's saying she's all about a good party.
Stephanie, yes.
So does that mean I have a party to plan? Now I'm bad at party planning.
Yeah, you have an event to plan now.
I have an event to plan. Doggone it. I have an event to plan. Hey, did I mention the fraud retreat?
August 3rd and 4th, right?
I think it's August 3rd and 4th. Go to
I
fraudretreat.com, everybody.
Yeah, go to fraudretreat.com and then you'll see. And, you know, I keep on telling everyone I know that there's going to, you guys are having the FBI agent that was on the Bernie Madoff case.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty fun.
So that's going to be fun. So Amy says that she will be in Austria on the 24th. So what we kind of expect though are really good pictures from Austria. That's what we're going to be looking for. And
Mhm.
Clarence says if he's not in a
Enjoy the
meeting,
slopes.
yeah, I know, right? I know.
Mhm.
Benita, you ski, don't you?
I do, but you know, I haven't skied because I was in Houston and the States. I haven't skied for 5 years, I was telling someone. So I'm going to go and hang out on the bunny hills during the spring because the
Ah,
snow is slushy and it's not ice, right? So it's easier for if you're just getting back into it.
so is there anything smaller than the bunny hills? I'm thinking I just need like a little clump of snow to kind of practice on.
Yeah, it goes bunny hill and then green runs, blue runs, black runs.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing like a driveway that I could just ski down. Like,
Yeah, you could borrow any of my family's driveways. My
so you know
aunt
what?
had 4 feet of snow last week.
Here's what's funny. I bet a lot of people don't even know that you are an avid golfer too.
I do, and that would be a fun thing to do is get a foursome or an eightsome or whatever for the fraud retreat. I mean, surely the Gaylord has a golf course,
There's only one problem.
huh?
I suck at golf.
Oh no, I suck at golf too. That's fine.
But either you're not fooling anyone. Don't you have your own clubs?
Yes, I do, but that doesn't mean you're a good golfer. You know that, right?
Very true. I'm good at driving the golf cart.
Mm-hmm. You always need a caddy.
Yeah, no, I'm not a good caddy. I'm just good at driving the golf cart. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's
That's
all
it.
you need to do.
Yeah. Well, while I'm driving it, sometimes I run into some art.
Oh my goodness. On a golf course, yeah, I guess that's possible.
It's possible. So, all
Oh,
right.
surely. Oh, I get it.
I was bringing it back to the story. I was bringing it back to the story. Stephanie says the bunny hill for her as well. Really? Wait a minute now. Amy says cross country skiing. Oh, wow. Now that's
It's
pretty interesting.
a really good workout. Cross
Yeah,
country is actually harder for me than alpine.
that's what I was thinking. And it is a
Mm,
really good workout. Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
Don't call me Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on episode number 97. Now, the last thing I'm going to ask you guys to do for me is if you like this program, tell all of your friends, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. go to your favorite podcasting platform, subscribe to it so you can be notified. I typically get these out on Saturday mornings. You got an audit staff or a fraud staff, make them listen to it. And I do mean make them, because we're fun.
CPEs.
Sometimes you get CPEs, sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. But yeah, so if you really like it, spread the word. Spread the word. And on
I
that
do.
note, see you next week.
Thanks for having me.